My name is Liz Shay. I'm co-chair of the Executive Research Association, the ERA, and also in my real life, I'm a full-time researcher.
So what is your background and how long have you been in search?
So I've been in search for 20 plus years at various boutique search firms and held roles as associate, senior associate, and lastly as head of research, leading a team of in-house researchers, but also a team of externals as well, which obviously is very relevant to the ERA because we have a number of independents. The kinds of clients that I worked with were retail, consumer, life sciences, industrial, and also retail financial services. Tended to be at operating board and board level, so non-executive posts as well. And the kinds of businesses were FTSE 100, 250, and also international private equity, but often on a global level, in fact at one point 70% of which was global.
What is the function of the ERA?
So the ERA functions as a meeting place for providers and buyers of talent intelligence and research. We're actually a not-for-profit organisation. We were founded in '84, so actually in our 35th year, which I think is pretty impressive. And we're a network of resourcing professionals. So we're comprising of independents, research firms, search firms, and also talent acquisition people in corporates. And we also work together. It's quite a broad spectrum of people.
What does the ERA offer members?
So it offers a variety of services. We try to give many benefits for our people. So free training, workshops, webinars, and also the annual conference that we're at the moment. We also provide a forum for meeting via Facebook called the Virtual Coffee Machine, which allows for brainstorming, etc. And obviously one of the key things we're trying to do as an organisation is champion research and research in the search process. And so make sure that we professionalise and it's a professional view, etc., promote professionalism. So one way that we do that, we actually offer the AESC qualification, which is the Association of Executive Search Consultants. And this particular certificate is in executive research, and we're the only organisation in the UK that offers that, and it's been very well attended and well thought of, and provides an industry standard in effect for anyone who completes it. We also provide entry into the Researcher Directory, which for anyone who is particularly independent, that allows them to promote their, what they do, their specialisms, and so people who are external, so search firms or even corporates, can look and see what these people provide.
So could you tell me, how does the ERA work?
So the ERA is led by a committee which is drawn from the membership group. We're backed by a strong constitution which was put in place this year, and we have an annual an AGM, an annual general meeting, which has just happened, which will go through all the things that have happened during the year, which we've done, obviously the constitution being one of the major things. Members can be different forms. They can actually be single members, or even a couple of single members if it's a small two-person band, or company and team members, so that's between 3 and 10, and that often appeals to those people in research organisations or perhaps talent acquisition people in big corporates. But all those people get access to all the above services I mentioned previously.
And could you explain what your responsibilities are as co-chair?
So as co-chair, as new elected co-chair should I say, in November, I've committed to a 4-year term. I was drawn from the committee, having had a role there for 3-4 years. And I work alongside Mark Senior, who is he was a current co-chair and he's actually stayed on for a second term. So our primary responsibilities are to co-lead the committee, also to co-chair the AGM, which is just done, co-host this annual conference, and also co-host any of the meetings that we run monthly with the committee. And we also have the oversight of the financial side and the financial aspects of the not-for-profit, so we work with the treasurers on that. We work directly with the secretary and the rest of the committee to make sure that obviously we deliver everything that we've promised to our members. And where we've got new initiatives, we provide, as co-chair, support to the individuals on the committee who've picked up particular projects, whether it be marketing, web development, or Researcher of the Year, which is something we offer as and we will sort of come to a bit later in this meeting. And obviously equally as important, and probably actually very important, is that we promote relationships with our current and potential sponsors, but also current and potential members, which could be corporates or independents.
So what would you say are the key developments and external factors which have affected your sector in recent years, and how did the ERA respond?
Well, I think there's 2 things that sort of spring to mind immediately. First of all, is GDPR, which was obviously a Europe-wide initiative, but obviously hit the search industry in a way that we had to re-examine how we operate. But it's actually been really, in fact, it's a change management project. So we've effectively embedded into our current best practice the GDPR principles we need to abide by, which most people were doing. It was just a question of tightening up. So that makes sure that we're all compliant. And the ERA responded by consulting a law firm and providing a policy document, or a document actually that would help the members understand, sort of navigate this particular path, which was very helpful and very well received. And we also, to make sure that we sort of, I suppose, we gave people an opportunity to talk about it. At last year's conference, we had an open forum Q&A, and also within the workshops with our sponsors, Venice and Cluen, we had sort of discussions as well on a smaller level. The other one would be technology. It's been hugely impactful to everybody. It's no secret that it's changed the way we all live. But in terms of research, research tools, databases, CRM software, all the things that help us to manage our assignments, deliver our assignments, communicate with candidates, compliance, and also front-end delivery. So whether it be, obviously you can communicate by a client portal, which is very useful. And the ERA has responded to that by providing a wide and varied training programme, so focused on these new tools, how to get the best use out of them, and how to keep members updated on innovative techniques that are coming along. And we bring experts in these particular sourcing areas to deliver those particular messages so they understand. And we also give our sponsors opportunity to talk about things that are relevant topics in our search industry. For example, this morning we had diversity and inclusion. We also had AI, both of which are fascinating, but effectively were led by our two sponsors, Venice and Cluen. Excellent.
And why is the conference a good thing?
I think it's one of the big benefits of being a member. I think it brings everyone together once a year, if not twice, if we run a second one. And in particular, if you think about the independents who perhaps work either in a small office or on their own, it's effectively a community. It brings people together. They get to share what they're doing with people doing the same thing. It's a good opportunity to network. Just this morning, people were talking about how they run their business, and each one had something to offer the other person, and actually that was a very useful conversation. We talk about new search techniques. They can actually then talk about those after that. And also we like to have the opportunity to promote excellence and highlight where people have been doing great work. So we have the Researcher of the Year Award, which is sponsored by Not Actively Looking. And it's invited, in terms of nominations, to both members and non-members. It's proved to be very successful. We've relaunched it this year with a slightly different application process, much simpler, and we've had a very, very good response. And it'll be interesting to see who's actually won, because we don't know until the end of the meeting. One of the things that we try and encourage is obviously membership, and the aspect of the prize is you get a year's membership of the ERA, which is always very nice. The actual conference is about speakers as well, so we have interesting speakers who provide interesting conversations and topics on the, I suppose, relevant things of the day. So diversity and inclusion is a very hot topic, and Pavita Cooper is going to talk about that this afternoon. And also we have updates from the wider search and recruitment sector, and Neil Carberry spoke this morning very interesting about the future of research and recruitment. And those sorts of things are very obviously interesting for us, because he has got a broader perspective than perhaps we have working just purely in research. So we try and use these workshops and everything as well to actually bring forward new ideas, and actually that's where the virtual coffee machine came from. Basically a group of independents sitting, talking about how they wanted to be more of a community, and after that they managed to come up with the idea that they could use Facebook as that entry point, and that's proved to be very successful. So I think all in all, the annual conference is a very important event in our annual calendar.